Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here today. And today is the episode of Behind the Scene. And today I invited one very young man to be here. He have been maybe young, but he has been knowing all this kind of blockchain, cryptocurrency for some times. And I first get to know him when he came to my training a few years ago, and then he joined the company that I working for at the time, NAM, as an intern. And well, he might be young, but he has quite a bit of experience in cryptocurrency and the blockchain as well. And I would like to invite him. I'm already invited him here already to share with you some of his experience. And here is Kris. Hi, Kris.
Hi guys.
All right,
So
Kris. Before we start, can you just introduce yourself a little bit, not too much, a little bit, so that we save a little bit more for later.
hi guys. I'm Chris. So basically been working as a full stack developer at Daimler TSS Malaysia. So currently working on a project that is building a decentralized data marketplace for enterprise to monetize their data.
Okay, cool. That's good. We will explain and talk a bit more later on. But first, my first questions to you is how you start your journey in crypto or blockchain. What get you into it?
Okay, so for this, it all started when I was still like a student in my second year at college. So during that time, I was still, at the stage of exploring like what should be my focus and like whether I want to be a front end developer, back end developer, like focus on AI or like big data or IoT. That time there's like what we call industry 4.0. So there's like a lot of things to, explore. So somehow someday that time I still really don't know what I want. So somehow someday I came across with like a video on Facebook, like they are talking about Bitcoin, like how a guy made a lot of Bitcoin through referrals by getting like his friend to sign up on exchange. I think it's Coinbase if I'm not mistaken. So from there I'm like, wow, you can actually make money like that just from referring your friends to sign up on exchange. So from there I'm like, okay, I'm still a student anyway, so maybe I can start to research like what is this Bitcoin, like how they all works. And later on, like I found out like the underlying technology of Bitcoin is blockchain, which like really sparks my interest there. So from there I started like talking to my friends about it and asking my lecturer about it and all. And later found out about NAM online, like they give like the workshop. So me and my friends like, okay, let's try this out. So we spoke to my lecturer and got a like free training with NAM that time. So from there is where how I start my journey. Yeah.
That's good. I think that most people starting from like knowing Bitcoin also, I think that is pretty early already, as like what you said during the Coinbase time, quite a number of
Yeah.
years ago. Wow, not bad. I mean, it's like you have the kind of mindset of to explore new thing. I think that is what technology is about, lah. Keep on
Yeah.
knowing and finding out what is a new technology is coming up. Cool. All right. I heard you mention about like AI and IoT or all these things, right?
Mhm.
I believe you do have like learned a little something about those, and probably you have other definitely have other subjects that you learn in school as well. Probably
Mhm.
might not be in technical, probably some business subject or whatsoever. Now, of all these kind of things that you have learned, right? Do you think that like is there of all those things that not related to blockchain can be applied in blockchain?
Not related to blockchain, but can be applied in blockchain. Definitely, we can. Anything you, because blockchain is just like another database, but it's decentralized in some way. So instead of storing like in a single database, we can store in like on blockchain where you have multiple nodes, multiple database. You can say like multiple copies of your data. So IoT, you can do that also. You can do that in AI also. It's just whether blockchain brings the value when you applied it. Like what is your requirement when you want to use blockchain?
Yeah, I think you mentioned one word that is very important is the value.
Mm,
I think blockchain is all about creating value, record the value, and make sure the value, it is well kept and recorded in the blockchain. So if I hear you correctly, it's like, basically most of the whatever you learn, some way, somehow it can be transferred in terms in using in blockchain. It might not be technically way, but some way,
mm,
somehow can be connected, right? Yeah. I do agree on that part. And right, of all those like project, I know that like you did a blockchain project for your final year as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, yeah, because I read through it. And you also like have uh, in your internship you make some you have like some tasks as well, and
Mm-hmm.
now that like you're working on a web3 project. Now of all these things that like you have done is related to the blockchain,
Mm-hmm.
what is the task that like of all this, right? What is really you are working on, like and what is the most challenging things as well?
What I have been working on and what is the most challenging thing?
Mm.
Mm, for my experience, I think everything is quite new to me. Uh, so generally, all tasks to me, what I've been working on do have a bit of challenge. Um, but to say the most challenging, I would say one of it is to keep up with what is coming in new or trending in the blockchain space. Like we can see the NFTs in like early this year, like mid years, and now we have the Metaverse, yeah, which is very trending right now. Like they have every day they have like a new Metaverse coin or something like that. Mm,
So yeah, keeping up with the technology, because I don't know whether you agree with me on this part, but I do think that if you do not update yourself, or you do not able to make some project out by about maximum 6 months, whatever you're working on is pretty much kind of like somewhere somehow out of date already in this industry.
yep, I agree on that too.
All right, I think that like on the other hand now that if you if like following up on the new trend is the most challenging things for you, what have been the most fulfilling tasks you have done so far?
Mm, most fulfilling that actually don't really have to me, don't really have any to me. But
You
all
are
tasks to
too
you,
humble.
like all tasks to me is fulfilling because everything is new. Like I get to learn a lot of new things every day now because my experience is still like I just work for maybe let's say 1 year plus. So everything is new and a lot of stuff. There are still a lot of stuff for me to learn. So every day to me is fulfilling, and every time I complete, I also feel fulfilled because it's something new to me.
Okay. Um, right. Then you did mention that you are working on a project, a Web3 project already. I don't know how much you can share about it. Whether so share as much that like you can, and then also share what you wish to work on in
Mm.
the near future.
Mm, currently, we have just launched like our beta is on eccentric.io. You can search like ACENTRIK.io. So we have just launched the beta there. So for now it's just beta, and there are still like a lot more work to be done, honestly to say, to improve. So if you ask like what I wish to work on next, that will be definitely like to perfect what I am currently doing for this project. Yeah.
Okay, probably if you can just type the link at the comment, I will paste it later on in there. Or anyway, just give me the link later on. I'll put it in the comment, and then so everybody can go and
Mm.
check on it. Now, before I go on to the next questions for you, that is the questions coming from the viewer. It's here. They say which part of the blockchain is too easy and which one is the hardest, in
Two.
your opinion?
Mm, if you have like let's say if you have a basic of how database server like how the web tool works, I think you will get blockchain quite easily and fast. And for what is hardest, uh, I would say that I would say a lot of new stuff coming that you have never seen, like what's on Ethereum, like all the smart contract, how they work together, like in a very big architecture, how they uh, s- interact with your application, uh, yeah, how they interact with your application. I think that that is the hard part. And actually, like when they interact with your application, like when you implement with it, does it bring value to your application? Like, if it doesn't bring value, why not you just use a normal server instead of blockchain? Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I thank you for the answer. Especially the last statement that you make, I totally agree. Whenever people say that, oh, I want to make applications on the blockchain, then the questions would be, why don't you ask yourself, right? If without the blockchain, does it serve the purpose? If there is any a problem that it can be uh, done with the normal or the traditional applications, then you don't have to go on the blockchain. There must
Mm.
be a reason why you want to solve this problem. Now, I have a question, extra questions from this for you. Now,
Mhm.
in your opinion, in what situations that you think we should move our applications to the blockchain?
Mm, let's say if transparency is a thing, you can move to blockchain, or mm, because on blockchain because on blockchain everyone can see what's on it, and the data there is like Excel sheet, all the data there is shared among, like we have a lot of nodes around the world, and everyone have a copy of that, and so everything you can say is public. You can like improve transparency is one of it. Other than that, also the security provided by the blockchain, because we have, like in traditional database, maybe we have one centralized server, but on blockchain we have multiple. So in case of like let's say I have a company that is using blockchain. I have one node set up in Malaysia and another one set up in, let's say, maybe let's say Europe. So let's say if something happened on my Malaysia node, like let's say the internet down or something, but and then I have like 1,000 customer to handle during that time that needs that data, and I cannot provide it because Malaysia server is down. But I have a server on Europe which can provide the data still, so my application can still run. Maybe there will be some latency because it's a bit of distance, but you know you won't actually uh how to say, you won't actually have the you won't like have your server having it on downtime.
Yep, yep.
Mm.
Yes, thank you very much for the answer. Now, next questions. You are quite young in terms of getting into this blockchain, but generally, this industry are quite young. Not only that, like it is only about 10 plus years old, but the people
Mhm.
who get in it also quite young. But generally, also, what is your advice for people who want to get into this industry, especially for people like you, right? They are still in school and then they want to get a job in blockchain or do something or their startup or whatever. What is your advice for them?
Mm, First, I must say, if you want to get into like not just blockchain, any industry, you need to have a very strong interest on that. that's the first thing I think is the most important thing is you have yourself in you have the interest, because if you don't have the interest you won't have like the passion to continue, like you don't have anything that drive you forward to actually learn more than you should. So I think that's the first point. And the second point is you have to be self-motivated to like mm, always take the initiative to explore and learn more, like beyond what is provided in front of you. So like for example, like if your current job, or let's say your current course at college only tells you like how to use a blockchain, like or just only like how to use, but you don't actually know how the blockchain is built, like to like from scratch. So from there you can like take initiative from there to like learn how a blockchain is built from scratch. So you get to see things like in different angles, and maybe in the future you will be able to like provide a even better solution than what you have right now in your in your brain. You can say.
Yep. Well, that sounds very motivational and very philosophical, and but it's really true. I think that like without any passion, especially in the industry like blockchain, that like change like every day, every seconds, right? If you do not have the passion to go and learn, gone were the day, right, when you have learned a skills and you can apply the skills until you retire. No, not in this industry. What you learn in like early of the year might not be able to really like fully. I mean, it's like not that bad, lah, but I mean, it's like you really need to have something new to like back up that. We have another questions coming from Bharat here. Uh, no questions. So he said, like, I'm a beginner in blockchain. Can you suggest me to become an intermediate and then pro so he can become a blockchain developer or something related to blockchain? So, yeah, what your advice
Mm,
for him or her?
beginner. So I would say there are a lot of course online, and also YouTube. There's also like YouTube where I previously learned a lot from. You can like just search how to become like a dev developer, and or you can go for like Coursera, all those. They have free courses as well for all these. You can actually learn, or you can just follow somebody like on YouTube, like they are building like any blockchain application project. You can just follow, like see how they code and why they why they do this, why they do that in like in detail. And other than that, I can say also like do join some community, like those blockchain community, like they have those discussion, or maybe they have also like groups like on Telegram, Discord. Mm, yeah, and one more is if you are also into like current crypto projects, all those, you can also join their community, and perhaps you could also like contribute to it, like because a lot of them, most of them, I can say majority of them is open source, and they really welcome any developer to come and contribute to help like to grow the space. So I think there's three things that you can start from as a beginner. Even though
Thank
maybe
you.
you don't have like okay, even though maybe you don't have like the very technical knowledge on like how you can contribute to the open source, but you can also contribute in a different, maybe you are from a UI background, you can contribute to their UI, because their team might not have a UI specialist, like a
Mm.
very person pro in UI, but you are good in UI and you're interested in blockchain, so you can work along with them and contribute to them. So from there, you when you interact with those very blockchain pro people, you can say like their project, they'll also teach you in return, like tell you how they implement all this. So everyone learn together. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree on especially the last point that you mentioned. It doesn't really have to like work specifically about like coding for blockchain or whatever. Start from something that like might not, but work in a project. Nothing beats a hands-on experience in working in a project, right? Thank you. And this coming from a old friend, Anthony say asking how to find a project can go moon.
How to find project that can go moon? Uh, Reddit, Twitter, a lot, but I can say 95% of them or more will fail because there are a lot of people shilling. So not financial advice.
So what are the few things and like the few key points like if you are the person who pick it up uh, that you think is important for people to pick a good project?
important key points to build a to pick a project to invest or
I think it's not only about investing because I think for me I do think that like for a project to be successful, there's a lot of other things that involved. It's not only about whether those people are having experience in building the project. There's many other factors, including the community and other factors. I'll let you mention what you think first before I kind of like jump in to say what I think.
mm, I think what can keep a project what can make a project successful, like more likely to success? Is that the question?
Yeah, what do you think that for you that one factor that you think must have like you
I
can say that
think
like must have me Chris as your developer that it will be success.
of course it's not just
Just kidding, just
of course it's
kidding.
not just about yeah, of course it's just not about the developer. I think it's more on whether it provide a real world value, real world use case. Like if you build something that nobody use it, the project definitely is not gonna be successful. But if you build something that everyone needs and it provides some value to people like in their daily life, you can say. So I think that's the very core points of how a project can be started is to provide value to people. Because in the end it's just us people using it. Like why we want to use this project, right?
I must say I support 100% because that is the one thing that I am thinking and I want to say also is you must have a real use case that people want to use. You actually solve some problem that would, yeah, but I believe Anthony knows the answer too. All right, that is another questions coming from Anthony again. What do you think about metaverse? You mentioned about metaverse just now, so I'm sure you do have some opinion about this.
Mm, Metaverse. Okay. For metaverse. Actually, I haven't really researched into it a lot about it, but I just saw like Facebook launching it and everything just get very trending and hype at the moment. My most of my focus now is just exploring more on DeFi, like staking and farming liquidity pools and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Right. That's all I can see from the comment, the questions coming from the viewer, and that's pretty much about the questions I would like to ask. So, all in all, that we have discussed, um, what do you think? I have one more last questions I would like to last ask is,
Mhm.
especially for those people who are still in their uh, university, especially, and I still haven't seen many blockchain courses in university, even though they could have some university that started to have like maybe one course or two, even though that I did some of those as well. What do you think that either the university or the student themselves should do so that when they graduate, they are very employable in this industry?
What they should did so sorry, I didn't really catch the end.
Sorry, probably I haven't. I kind of like forming the questions as I talk as well.
Mhm.
Let me just rephrase it a little bit.
Okay.
What the students, those are especially graduating soon, that they should do or probably work us from the university as well, so that when they graduate, they are employable in this industry.
Hmm. In blockchain and the industry or any industry?
Yeah,
Blockchain.
blockchain specifically.
Okay. So for blockchain, I really highly suggest you to build an application out maybe for your final project before you graduate. like if you are very sure that you want to venture into like your blockchain journey, like just start now, like build something out. It can be something very simple, or it can be as complicated as you want, as long as you build something to actually show maybe your future employer like what you have learned during your college time, because the employer will definitely be very happy to see what you have built, so they will be like 100% confident that you know about blockchain, like how to build things, why you build this, and also know that what value you can bring in to their company, as maybe they are called, maybe they are hiring core developer, or full stack developer. What value you can bring, they can already see it when you already have like a product for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I ended up having another questions. Have your final year project helped you in getting your current job?
um I would say definitely.
Cool, 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 good. So I think that it's quite a clear answer to those people who are graduating, and yep, that's all. I would like to ask any parting wisdom that you want to share with anybody.
Mm, I think that's about it.
All right. If that's all about it, thank you very much for being here and
No problem.
answering to my questions today. And thank you, everybody watching. We shall have episode 3 pretty soon and stay tuned. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.